Cabo, Ekaleo, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. or make I say, good day. I'm a fan of the Durand. It's a podcast called the Durand. One of the hosts, na Alexandra. Both of them say na Alexandra self, but so he always starts with good day, as if they force am. Good day. So in that spirit, good day, good day, everyone. And as usual, today episode being episode number 2 of Project 2027, being powered by Village Athletics. If you are a fan of track and field globally, but in particular Nigerian track and field, pay attention to no other place than Village Athletics, where you get up to date, up to minute of Nigerian athletes and everything in between. Chief Tony Osheku, the one and only life changer, thank you for all you do. You have changed the lives of those before me and after me. Stay awesome, great man. Happy birthday, Tony. Tony Osheku is one of the legendary track and field coaches Nigeria have produced. She he trained Falilat Ogunkoya, one time world number one in 400 meters. Still oh no, they don't beat her now. She is the national record holder. She was the African record holder for decades. If I'm mistaken. Go out to almost close to 2 decades. She ran a 49-1. That's a man's speed. Anyway, but it has been broken since then. So Tony Osheko is the brain behind it. As I said, if you want to get more about Nigerian track and field, who the sponsor of today's episode. Let's make I give you a brief happenings from Village Athletics so that before we start. So as at this minute, Godfrey Charles to the victory facility record, France meet record, every other thing follow. Godfrey the University of Minnesota from Delta. Then we have the duos of Success Mukuru and Tina God bless, who went head to head in New Mexico. One from LSU, that is Tina God bless, while Success Mukuru is from Texas Tech University. These are all performance so far for the weekend. So as I said, if you are following NCAA and if you are a fan of Nigerian track and field, follow Village Athletics, you get up to minutes. All these, especially all the performance that will be recorded this weekend by our Nigerian athletes throughout the United States, from speed to jump, you get up to date. But yes, on today's episode, we will go straight to Davos. Davos. If you are, please like, share, and follow so that you no go too stressed to understand the story we will dey talk for here. I talk am as we pay attention to what goes on during the inauguration of Donald Trump on the 20th of January, attention should be always be paid to Davos, Switzerland, where the World Economic Forum is taking place. If not for any reason at all, It's because na the same thing. Now, one might present themselves as a globalist, as is very obvious now, why those guys in the White House are nationalists. But the Coco be say they are working for that in the interest of what the United States of America represents. The idea, the experiments that the existence of America is about, they both are working hand in hand. How do you say that? If you go into the nitty-gritty of World Economic Forum, you say the top five, if not top 10 companies that run it, because those are private corporation, with a few government association and all that kind of shit, right? You will find out that top 10 or top five of those companies that actually run World Economic Forum are American companies. So are they going to work against the interest of the United States of America? Hell no. So why Donald Trump was busy raising billions of dollars for AI infrastructure and White House, the team at Davos is also, collaborating in a new information age. So as we go on with this 2027 project, we will be going bit by bit into how they take connect. Again, the question for today will be who you dey vote for. No, 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 my bad. Why you dey vote? As we started from yesterday, right? Why you dey vote? The goal is to keep asking yourself that question. Keep asking your friends, your family, your enemies that question. The goal is to find common interests and form a group ideology and use it for bargain. Individual votes will not count. But if we are able to organize our votes along a common interest, we are a step closer in taking our country back from the state capture, as people normally put it. So, listening to uh, Dele Farotimi sermon this morning, he asked a question. The owner, he was talking about the owners of Nigeria, and I can't help to. I disagree with him in the angle or the area that he's seeing it from. But but rather than saying disagree with him, I begin question myself. Is it that he doesn't understand how the world or the system works, or is getting at something? So I'm stuck at that because the reality of the planet Earth that we live in is not only one rule. You only own what you can protect. That's why every world hegemony, every empire, they go around, they take anything that they can. The only way they can take anything from you is because you could not protect it, right? And I think maybe later in the evening, I will discuss, we'll talk about the importance of walls, the wall of Benin, the moat, as they call it, the wall of China, and the correlation between those walls and today's cloud, right? Why is it that you cannot see some kind of technology, cloud technology, especially in social media in China, but you can see them in America? Why those you cannot see those in China? I can. So we draw the correlation between those people, those two things. So when Dele Farutini was talking about ownership, the owners of Nigeria, and I said, okay, you're missing the point. But I understand where he's driving at is to get the citizen to start reasoning along that line. I agree, but the direction which he's taking it from or taking it to, it's not going to lead us anywhere because the cocoa is freedom. And to be free, you have to be able to protect it too. Because freedom, protection, survivors are all embedded in the resources that is available within that physical location. Now, if you want to overdo too much now, you can't go the explore every other one. But again, that is because that place you want to explore. Those people who claim to own it or have it can protect it. Then I listened to shout out to one man. I was trying to come on his show 2 nights ago, but she take get out of hand. But I couldn't help it to notice how the kind of few people on the panel were kind of praising or glorifying how there's a relatively pace in the country in terms of terrorism and all that kind of shit. And the credit is going to the leadership style of Tinubu and all that kind of, which is expected. But beyond that, even some of the headlines are beginning to say how they are under Buhari and good luck and blah blah blah. There are no peace. And I'm like, I don't know. Are we living on the same planet? Right? Are we living on the same planet? Then again, I understand that the men in power have monopoly of pretty much control the kind of information that deserve to be on our screen. Yeah, a guy his job is sing out loud. I don't care. So I was like, I think to say that anything has changed in terms of the security situation in Nigeria is being disingenuous. Nothing has changed for the past 20 years. Those at the receiving end will tell you that people are still being displaced from their community every day. People are still being killed pretty much every day in northeast, northwest, and southeast, to mention but a few. Just read international news outlets. Now you can say okay, oh, they have their own biases, interests, and all that kind of shit. Yes, but if you can figure that out, you should be able to read into the line them anytime you're reading their going through their own perspective of things on ground. So let's listen to this. And again, another aspect to this conversation is that France, Bola Tinubu is in France. It's not. It's going to France privately. It's on our head of. It's on our Bola. Again, the argument between the Niger people and the federal government. They are France present in Borno State. No, they are not France based in Borno State. But let's hear from the people in charge how far they have gone, not just rhetoric now. Action they have taken.
For Nigeria's trade policy. It has to do with diversification. A lot of your exports currently are oil and gas, primary resources, but it's a goal of your administration and the previous ones as well to diversify that, to have more manufactured goods, agricultural goods be exported to foreign markets. In 2023, manufactured goods represented, I think, just under 3% of exports. How do you increase that?
So you're right. This is a big priority for us. We're working on investment retention. A lot of the manufacturers have told us what they need in terms of business climate review, and we've been working on that for a number of years, giving them what they need. Also in terms of investment attraction, because we need investment attraction to be able to double up for export. So it's investments for export. In terms of priority sectors, agriculture is a big one. We want agribusiness, we want market access into other markets like the EU. And we've invited, just at the end of last year, as you know, we were in France and speaking to the French business community to come and farm in Nigeria and to take those goods, those especially agricultural goods, back into the EU market. They'll also have the opportunity of the African Continental Free Trade Area, which is 1.4 billion people as a market. And so really coming to whether it's in our free trade zones or just coming to manufacture in Nigeria would be welcome. And it will be a good and profitable endeavor for foreign investment.
You also
Uh, this, I don't know, you can take, see this from so many ways. One, when Obi was campaigning 2023, was talking about Haribo land in the north, how if given the opportunity to serve as a president, they are going to focus on invest it. I mean, invest in farming and all that. People like me, the question then was, how do you do it? How do you convince these people who are there because they know about it, they have this idea. But anyway, as we see today, that arable land is already being utilized, hence the killings, hence the depletion of people. Anytime when I talk, say there are over 30 international company in that place carrying activities, people just don't get it. Maybe I don't know. That's one aspect of this whole thing. Two, the man that's saying their French presence in Borno State and the Nigerian government are saying there are no French base, military base in Borno State. Which side are you on? I've always said it. There's only three sides to a coin: the head, the tail, and the edge itself. You hear from the minister herself that we have gone to EU, we have gone to France to bring France farmers to come and farm. They are already there farming. That's another aspect. But another aspect is that they are with the primary purpose of taking the farm product out in order to satisfy their EU counter. That's what this is about, right? That's one. Now put historical context to this. Back after the first, not even after the First World War, right? I think Dr. Damiji was making mention of there's going to be a seminar, something going on about Berlin, Berlin,
Berlin 1845 or so. But before the I hope they will get to a reason why Berlin 1845, maybe 1844 happened when as the popular saying goes, they assembled in Berlin and decided to partition Africa to themselves. But there's a reason why that they have to come to that conclusion. And that reason has to go back to 1820s, right? James Monroe came to power 18. What year did James? Yes, 1817. He left 1825. So 1823, when he approached, pretty much spread out here, reiterated that American ideology, that American experiment, officially presented to the world that yes, we have come of age. And the first step is that we don't want to see any European power in the Americas. The Spanish people who are doing their shenanigans, the British people, everybody, your time is up. Get the fuck on. any attempt to stay back or to want to decolonize, do anything within the Americas is against our national interest. That was 1823. 30 years on, about 3 decades on, they understand that America mean business. Took part of Mexico away from them. Uh, they know say Alaska will go. I mean, Philippines are getting it hard from them. These guys are serious. Get out. That's exactly what Trump model of government, I mean, the approach it is now. But this time around, the order is towards China and every other power that care to listen, get the fuck out of the Americas. Now we get that. Now, before we come to that, but still in line of what the French and the Germans are doing in Nigeria. So that reality that struck the America actually say, come, we are ready, drove the European powers to assemble in Berlin, 1844, to begin to say, come on. And what they don't take part of our survival away from us. And I don't think we have what it takes to fight back at this point. What do? We focus on the other part of the country, the planet, which is Africa. Boom, that's why. Now, you would now say, okay, fast forward to World War One. The barbaric nature of the Europeans, because the Americans are taking a lot away from them, right? By chasing them away from the whole continent of Americas, where they were feeding fat before to augment their industry and all that. No, it's no longer as they don't streamline. And what do they do now? That reality has set a lot of people. So they went back to they begin fighting themselves again, which is what the World War pretty much about. And America understanding that fact, stay behind to the last minute until the British people came to them and say, come on, we need your help in this. If not, these Soviet people will overrun us down. If they are finally going to join power with Germany, it's over for every one of us on this fucking planet. You know, America's coming, help them win the war. Now, after they help them win the war, one of the price that the European will pay is accept every rules that America is going to set up. They no get choice. Now, between the First World War I to Second World War I, within America they do, America gradually they take over every colony of the British. Why? Because of as the British and the French win the World War, helping America helping them, their own victory, their own what they will take as their prize is to strip Germany from all their colonies across the world. Now, don't forget, the European continent, including Germany, they don't lose out of the Americas now. Now, by the victory of the First World War, British and France and every other part European now decide to gang up and strip German. Remember now, the German are then called the meeting of the marketing Africa. Now, in order to punish them for the war and all the devastation that he brought, they have to strip Germany and all of his colony, which is what the Treaty of Versailles is about. Impose a lot of fine on them. They pay with their teeth and blood. which automatically gave rise to Hitler. So you see, now, then when Germany was able to bring themselves back again from the ashes, well, they be world power before, so the only time you would take them. Then they had to. There's a reason now for America to say, come, come, come. These people, now they do this. These German people are doing too much, right? Which again pretty much ignite the Second World War. I'm not saying that's the only reason in the Second World War, but I'm giving you the analogy why how Nigerian at every juncture we are always at the receiving end, not just Nigeria but Africa at large. So now when the Second World War happened, they finally put German to perpetual. Now just a matter of time before they will overtake all the African countries as a third world war, as a third world country. So after the Second World War, which ended in 1945, the Americans asked to not just tell. Now, remember after the First World War, the prize, the loser of that war, the person they accused, the country they accused was German. So the prize is to strip them of the colonies that they have. I was even before the outside. Second to that, also the America. Now, Second World War now, America had to say, you know what? The price that the German actually pay for ignition, all the European continent had to pay the same price. And what is that price? Go. I want you to physically go now and give all your colonies freedom. So between the later parts of 1940s, 50s, 60s, after every country begin getting independent, they begin negotiate. Pretty much they begin negotiate. Every country begin negotiate their way out of the Commonwealth to the American system of however you want to accept the agreement, military-wise or whatever, but the goal is that the British has to free the resources they are in control of in those various colonies so that America can either force you or so. Now, what is happening again now? America is at that crossroad again that they have to fight another empire that is emerging, which is the Chinese. But this time around, they need cooperation of all the Western partners, as they like to claim themselves. The British would like to say we are junior partners. Okay, well, time to play your role as a junior partner. We dictate, you follow. French being the stubborn goats among them before, right from time memorial, they no one follow. But they begin show them out of their own colony. Free them. They have to. But again, the German, in order for them to get them focused on the task ahead, is to also free them from where they get their cheap gas, which is Russia. That put them straight. But of course, you can't just leave them like that. If not, they still need something. In order for them to be useful to you, they also you can downsize their economy. You can rent it destroy their production capability, still make them sufficient. But how even that you still need some energy, no matter how expensive it's going to be. That's where Nigeria is open for energy, for Germany, for German, food and agriculture and every other thing for France. More are still coming. Now, I'm not making this up. If you just listen to her once again, you will get the
For Nigeria's trade policy, it has to do with diversification. A lot of your exports currently are oil and gas, primary resources, but it's a goal of your administration and the previous ones as well to diversify that, to have more manufactured goods, agricultural goods be exported to foreign markets. In 2023, manufactured goods represented, I think, just under 3% of exports. How do you increase that?
So you're right. This is a big priority for us. We're working on investment retention. A lot of the manufacturers have told us what they need in terms of business climate review. And we've been working on that for a number of years, giving them what they need. Also, in terms of investment attraction, because we need investment attraction to be able to double up for exports. So it's investments for exports. In terms of priority sectors, agriculture is a big one. We want agribusiness, we want market access into other markets like the EU. And we've invited, just at the end of last year, as you know, we were in France and speaking to the French business community to come and farm in Nigeria and to take those goods, those especially agricultural goods, back into the EU market. They'll also have the opportunity of the African Continental Free Trade Area, which is 1.4 billion people as a market. And so really coming to whether it's in our free trade zones or just coming to manufacture in Nigeria would be welcome. And it will be a good and profitable endeavor for foreign investment.
You also
See? They have gone to France to bring France to come and farm so that they can export the food. And people are wondering why there is peace. For those who are claiming there is peace now in terms of insecurity. But the question is that whose land are they giving to the international countries to come and farm, to come and utilize? Is it the same horrible land that Obi was talking about during his campaign 2023? Or is the land of the people that have been killed or displaced right now as we speak? So there's so many questions. Just in case you are wondering why the Buhari time and this one is different. You say there is more peace now. Okay. And again, if you are wondering why Bola Tinubu trip to France is frequent, so and again, if you are wondering why, yes, even though France lost out of his old colonies, there's a survival instinct. In case you dey wonder why they know they too worried about us, because we are always there. Because even if we ask, we no give, they can force to take it. So that's why I say if you listen to Dele Farotimi's message today, who is literally, you know, trying to make the people to see that it takes you, is a difference between you being an owner than you just being occupying the land, which goes in line with what I've been saying. You only own what you can protect. If you cannot protect anything, you don't own it. Hence, the European power, they go around, they do whatever they. So that's the rule of the jungle. That's the rule of the jungle. And what you people protect now be your own. Can't protect it, you ain't it's not yours. And that's exactly what is going on right now in the moment. Again, the question for the day is why you they vote? Are you they vote because who you they vote for or the group that you found somebody have your interest also believe that in order for you to claim ownership of whatever the country or even your own village, you have to own it. Dele Farotimi was also saying something this morning along when Obasanjo come into power. Decree something when decree the land ownership decree, then put an transfer to our constitution as a state. But what he was trying to say is that now Obasanjo, because I always talk and Obasanjo as somebody in our history that we never understand his role, how Nigeria to be what it is today. So when he came in and made that decree as a military, when they go hand over to Shagari civilian, they also had to, which is at the root of the constitution we are still practicing today, which is Telefarity was talking about it. So there's a reason they put the Land Act into hand of the state. So that stubborn people like you, or we will know too much, or way to get money, can decide to say, I want to explore my own resources within, I want to drink my own oil. I want no, 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 you ain't no. Even your community, if you come together to do that, you have to go through the state, and the state is under the tutelage of the West. And they had to go that out because now then get the resources, now then they protect them. They have their investment, and that investment has to be protected. So if you pay attention, every war, every whatever that is happening, they will say they have their interest there. They have their investment. National security is what economic survival. That's what national security is about. When they say it is our after our national security interest. Nigga, you got to be alive. In order for you to be alive, you got to feed. In order for you to eat, you have to have the food. So it is an investment. Their investment is in their natural resources. So they begin to tell you they put billions of investment there. Those are individual investment, private with corporation investment under the auspices of United States of America. And you don't fuck with that. Doesn't matter who you is, you get it. So why you they vote? Yes.
For Nigeria's trade policy. It has to do with diversification. A lot of your exports currently are oil and gas, primary resources, but it's a goal of your administration and the previous ones as well to diversify that, to have more manufactured goods, agricultural goods be exported to foreign markets. In 2023, manufactured goods represented, I think, just under 3% of exports. How do you increase that?
So you're right. This is a big priority for us. We're working on investment retention. A lot of the manufacturers have told us what they need in terms of business climate review, and we've been working on that for a number of years, giving them what they need. Also in terms of investment attraction, because we need investment attraction to be able to double up for exports. So it's investments for export. In terms of priority sectors, agriculture is a big one. We want agribusiness, we want market access into other markets like the EU. And we've invited, just at the end of last year, as you know, we were in France and speaking to the French business community to come and farm in Nigeria and to take those goods, those especially agricultural goods, back into the EU market. They'll also have the opportunity of the African Continental Free Trade Area, which is 1.4 billion people as a market. And so really coming to whether it's in our free trade zones or just coming to manufacture in Nigeria would be welcome. And it will be a good and profitable endeavor for foreign investment.
You also
So she said they've been speaking to the international investors and they told them what they need and we are providing that. So the question is, what did they tell them that they need? Of course, access to the land. And you say access to the land is there. All they need to do is to sign contract with the government. No, there are people literally who are on that land. You need to clear them out, displace them to IDP camp, so they no be farm again. Wipe them out if necessary. That's the access they need. So it has been provided to France to come and farm for one major focus, so they can export the food to feed them. They have focus on going to war while we do the feeding. Get back to we provide now. These are no need us to come and work and do this. Just provide the land. They get mechanic. They get. I thought robot are here. I need you in the farm. You speaking motherfucker. Fuck on. So that's where we are. But you will not see this on news. That's why I say pay attention. Go back and read all the Davos publication. Go to their website. They know the IT. That's what I like with Igbo people. They are very straightforward. So you don't need to be conspiratorial about it. You don't have to be conspiratorial about it. Just go read it from their website themselves. Now you are listening to it from the horse's mouth. Now, the president of now, minister be that. At Davos, telling them how far they've gone. The question was very straightforward. You've been saying you want to. The pressure, I tell you, gotta step up your game. Raise the tax, do whatever you can. The boss, the empire is facing is facing a great challenge.
Assembly. But we now invite our distinguished president, a man of focus, a man who loves the National Assembly, the one that will support you to support your constituents, to now present the 2025 budget. On your mandate, we shall stand. On your mandate, we shall stand. On your mandate, on your mandate, on your mandate, we shall stand. Oh, yeah. Shall stand. On your mandate, on your mandate, on your mandate, we shall stand.
Thank you very much. Thank you. After listening to this great remark of a great mind, colleague, and the president of the Senate, I feel I could have just lay the budget. Go. With your rendition of the mandate support, I can't do otherwise. I must but respect you and go through the exercise of reading. It is a great honor and pleasure for me to be back where I started. As once a member of this respected house of thinkers and doers, I am grateful to be your president. And to be here to see so many faces of my friends, colleagues, and compatriots.
For Nigeria's trade policy, it has to do with diversification. A lot of your exports currently are oil and gas, primary resources, but it's a goal of your administration and the previous ones as well to diversify that, to have more manufactured goods, agricultural goods be exported to foreign markets. In 2023, manufactured goods represented, I think, just under 3% of exports. How do you increase that?
So you're right. This is a big priority for us. We're working on investment retention. A lot of the manufacturers have told us what they need in terms of business climate review, and we've been working on that for a number of years, giving them what they need. Also in terms of investment attraction, because we need investment attraction to be able to double up for exports. So it's investments for exports. In terms of priority sectors, agriculture is a big one. We want agribusiness, we want market access into other markets like the EU. And we've invited, just at the end of last year, as you know, we were in France and speaking to the French business community to come and farm in Nigeria and to take those goods, those especially agricultural goods, back into the EU market. They'll also have the opportunity of the African Continental Free Trade Area, which is 1.4 billion people as a market. And so really coming to whether it's in our free trade zones or just coming to manufacture in Nigeria would be welcome. And it will be a good and profitable endeavor for foreign investment.
You also
Renew hope. I now understand the renew hope is not directed to Nigerians. The foreign investments that they've been talking to, investors that they've been talking to, one of their requirements or their demand is to what? Give them prepare the climate environment for them. So, and what is that? If you now understand that from her conclusion that those foreign investors, by the name of French investors, are already farming. So, in other words, the climate has already been taken, the environment has already been taken care of. Now, what does that even mean? What that one means? That mean the farm that they are, the place that they are farming now, they have succeeded in displacing those people that either own the farm or are living on that farm by many ways. Terror in the name of former headers clash. Now, make I people when people talk about security, they laugh. People are talking about this government is not doing anything. He's already doing everything that is required of him. Everything that is required of him. Now, that is the Minister of Trade and Investment that is saying it. The question was very direct. What are you doing to increase your exports? And she replied by saying that we are already talking to the foreign investors, and their requirement is the business climate environment at the RCT put up, make it favorable for them, and that has been done. She went ahead to say that we have gone to France to have them to come and farm with the sole purpose aim of taking the food agricultural products out there to feed them. Ah, people go dey say there is insecurity, there is insecurity. The place where insecurity dey, na farming dey go on, serious farming. It's not just by our farmers, and it's not just we don't deserve to eat our like. It is mind blowing that all this is going on, but doesn't matter. Fuck it. Just listen.
for Nigeria's trade policy. It has to do with diversification. A lot of your exports currently are oil and gas, primary resources, but it's a goal of your administration and the previous ones as well to diversify that, to have more manufactured goods, agricultural goods be exported to foreign markets. In 2023, manufactured goods represented, I think, just under 3% of exports. How do you increase that?
So you're right. This is a big priority for us. We're working on investment retention. A lot of the manufacturers have told us what they need in terms of business climate review, and we've been working on that for a number of years, giving them what they need. Also in terms of investment attraction, because we need investment attraction to be able to double up for exports. So it's investments for exports. In terms of priority sectors, agriculture is a big one. We want agribusiness, we want market access into other markets like the EU. And we've invited, just at the end of last year, as you know, we were in France and speaking to the French business community to come and farm in Nigeria and to take those goods, those especially agricultural goods, back into the EU market. They'll also have the opportunity of the African Continental Free Trade Area, which is 1.4 billion people as a market. And so really coming to whether it's in our free trade zones or just coming to manufacture in Nigeria would be welcome. And it will be a good and profitable endeavor for foreign investment.
You also
You hear that, ladies and gentlemen? I'll see you guys later.